Welcome back VA users. In today's video, we are going to cover the attribute setup. Now the question is, what's basically the attributes? Now the attributes are nothing but these are the properties of the product. Let's take an example, a mobile. Now the mobile has the screen size, that has a CPU, that has a RAM. Also, these are basically the configurations of the product, or these are basically the properties of the product. So it can have a brand, right? So these are nothing but these are the properties. But also the mobile contains one of the other aspect is basically the serial numbers on which the warranties used to be tracked out. Apart from that, there are certain products like shampoo that comes in lots. So again, that is a kind of attribute into the system. So as far as the attributes or the properties of the product, there are three kind of properties. One is a product can have a serial number, a product can have a lot number, or a product can have its general properties like, if the product is a t-shirt, then the general properties can be it is V shape, it is red in color, yellow in color, right? It is of a certain brand. So these are basically the third type of attributes. So these are basically the instance and the non-instance attributes also referred in some of the softwares. So now we'll see how we can set up the attributes into the VA system. To set up the attribute into the VA system, we'll take two examples. Let's suppose I have a product called refrigerator or AC that contains a serial number. Now how I would be able to set up such a product? Now the another product is a t-shirt, then how I would be able to set up a t-shirt product? And the third product is basically, let's say, shampoo, how I can set up the shampoo with a lot attribute. So these three we are going to cover into the system, how we would be able to generate such a kind of product using the attributes. Okay, so let's move on into the system and we'll log in, and thereafter we'll configure some of the attributes and then we'll configure the products. So let's move on into the system. Presently, I'm at my login screen. I'm logging through IdeaSync admin, and once you just logged in, thereafter, okay, once you log in into the system, you need to search the attribute. Okay, so here let's search attribute. So we have attribute. So here at the level of the attribute, you just need to press on the new record and you need to define all the characters that you are required, right? All the properties. Let's say for the t-shirt we are generating this. So I have the first attribute is called color, and I will say it is a type of list, and I will save this and then move on to the second tab. And on this tab, let's say B for black, R for red, and P for pink. Okay, so these are the three colors for my t-shirt. So I have defined three colors. Now there would be sizes. So the next attribute I want to define is basically the size, and here I would select list and say save, and then I will define my size as S for small, then I have M for medium, and L for large. So I would be able to define my values here. So I have three different colors. If you want to define some other attributes, you would be able to define so. And then we just need to move on to the attribute set window, okay, or attribute group window. So once you will come here, then you will say the new record. The attribute is for t-shirt, so I will give the name as t-shirt. It is mandatory type, so I would say it is always mandatory whenever this t-shirt product would come, and I would select this here. I don't want to select the lot, serial, or the expiry date. Instead, I will move on to the second tab. I will say attribute use, and here I would utilize my color as my first attribute and my size as my second attribute. Okay, so I just need to select here my attribute. First attribute as I have selected is color. The another attribute is my size, And once it is done, it means my attribute group is prepared. Now I would be able to link this attribute group to a product. Now I want to configure a product now. So let's move on to the product. And if you move on to the product, you need to create a new product called t-shirts. So let's say I will create t-shirts, and I will give the name t-shirt, and that's fine. Rest, I think the product I will keep is as standard. It is of item, text category comes under GST. Now the attribute group is t-shirt. So once I will save, so once it is done, I would be able to save this. So these are the minimum things that we need to set up at the product master, and then we'll move on to the price, and we'll say it comes under the purchase price. So I'm not defining any price for this. Okay. Now, since it is I have defined one of the prices without attribute. If you want to define the price with the attribute, you would be able to do so. So you can say, okay, I have my attribute is basically for the color and the size. I would be able to define so. So that is how we would be able to define the attribute. So our setup in terms of the attribute group is all done. So it is all well. There is nothing to be defined here apart from this. So these are the two sequences are already defined here. Now once it is done, so this is the one type. Now the important part of it is, let's say we'll move on to the purchase order to this location. So open here, and I will say new record to select t-shirt. Okay, then I would come here and then say I need 20 pieces of a t-shirt. Now which t-shirt you are expecting from the vendor, so you just need to define the attribute here that it is of this color and this size. Okay, so once it is done, presently it is coming as read only, so let me check it up. So instance attribute is fine, that is fine. This always mandatory is fine. This fine is okay. Okay, anyways, it is because of a certain setup, or maybe the module download is not up to the mark. Because of that, it is coming read only. But yes, when the attributes are there, then you need to define your attribute at the level of the purchase order. Okay. But on to the other hand, when the attribute or the product which you are selecting that is of a serial number or a lot number type, at that moment of time you are not aware about that which serial number or which lot number you are going to receive when you receive the GRN. But in such a cases, when you are defining the attribute in such a way, you just need to select at the level of the purchase order, so that the vendor will come to know about that which color, which size you are looking forward for, and the vendor will ship that item only. Okay, so that is what the difference, slight difference between both of them. Now if I want to generate an attribute group for the lot, in that case you just need to open the lot window, that is the lot control, and at the level of the lot control you would be able to define the lot. So let's say the lot I'm defining is for the shampoo. So here is the lot. I would define any prefix and the suffix as well. But normally the lot which you are going to receive, you are going to receive it from the vendors. Whatever the real lot would come, you just need to enter that lot number. So once it is done, thereafter you just need to move on to the attribute group and say shampoo attribute. So it is of the kind lot. I would say it is a mandatory. It is always mandatory. You will say lot, then which lot? It is shampoo. It is a mandatory lot. Okay, and that's all. The second type of attribute is done. And now for the lot, if I want to define it for the shampoo, so you can even create a universal name, and that universal name can, if for a single lot would be utilized for the multiple products, you would be able to create a generic name, and then you would utilize a single attribute group to the multiple products. Okay, So let's say if I want to define the new product into the similar fashion, I would be able to define. So let's say shampoo. So I would come here, I will say it is a shampoo, and I would select my product category, let's say stationery. So you need to select the relevant one, and the group is my shampoo. So I would say select this and save it. So that's all for the product shampoo. And similarly, if you want to generate for the serial number, so the serial number is the serial number control, and let's say it is for the AC. So AC I would define, and that's fine, and thereafter I would save this. Now here the serial, with in terms of the serial number, there is a control basis. You would be able to define it as for the attribute. You would be able to define it for the fixed assets as well. Okay. So I'm defining it for the attribute, so it is done, and thereafter I will move on to the attribute here. I will say for AC there is a serial number, and I would select mandatory type is always mandatory, then the serial number, then this is AC mandatory serial number, and if there is a warranty involved, then you will say expiry date is required, and this is mandatory whenever you are receiving the material, okay, or whenever you are delivering the material. So for the expiry, you would be able to define the expiry dates at the level of the product. So let's say if I want to create air conditioner as my product, so I would be able to define here, then I would select this attribute group as serial. Then there is a guarantee days that you just need to install. So you just need to enter the guarantee days. So let's say it is 5,000 days warranty or guarantee is there, so I would be able to define. So that is the third type of the product that you would be, third type of the attribute that you would be able to define into the VA system. And that is how the attribute configuration happens into the VA system. If you like our video, then I would request you to share with your friends so that they will learn how to configure the attributes into the VA system. And if you like our content and if you like our videos, then I would request you to subscribe our channel and support us in this. For the time being, thanks a lot. Bye bye.